everyone, Georgia Rambleman here. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Tuesday, July the 10th, and the group today at the Hoot has decided to split up. We got a group going to ride up in more in the mountains of New Hampshire. Patrick Orbis is going to lead that group, along with Patrick Keaton and Bronco Ride and Doug Cassidy and Adam Hucks. And Happy Jack and Scott and his wife Diane and myself are headed to the Maine seashore. Looking forward to seeing that. I've been into Maine. I just went across the bridge in Portsmouth once just to say I've been in Maine, but I've never really been there any time, so I'm looking forward to it. We've got about a 120-mile ride this morning to a little town. I think it's York, Maine. I'm not really sure of the name of the town, but we're going to have lunch at a place called Bentley's, which is, according to Happy Jack, a sort of biker bar. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. Looks like it's going to be another warm day today. Slight chance of rain this afternoon, so I did put my rain gear in my saddlebag just in case. But, you know, the weather has been really great for this hootenanny. Just super great. A little warm yesterday, but today will be a little bit warm. But, you know, for riding a motorcycle, this is super. So we're going to take a short ride on the Kancamagus Highway and cut over. I'm not sure the names of the highways. As you can see, I got Adam and his wife Diane in front of me on their ruby red 2018 Honda Goldwing, and Happy Jack leading the ride on his Ultra Limited. You know, these hootenanny get-togethers are not only fun just for the motorcycle riding, but just getting to know folks. I was talking with Doug last night a good bit at dinner, and he was in the HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning controls business. You know, the electronic controls that in buildings that monitor and control all the air conditioning and heating and ventilation. And you know, I'm in the construction consulting business, and we had a good talk about that. How technology's changed over the years, and what are the new things out there, and you know, just getting to know everyone is great. You know, Colin and I, Bronco Ride, talked a little bit about his job with Target, you know, in the retail industry. John Parsons, Happy Jack, is an attorney, does a lot of real estate work and title work. And it's just, you know, it's just interesting to talk to folks and see what they do, and you know, learn about them and their families, and develop these friendships, because that's what they really are. So again, if you ever get a chance to come with us to the Hoot, or do something on your own with some other friends you might meet on YouTube, by all means do it. It's well worth it. Okay, we're riding east on the Kancamagus Highway here. Beautiful morning. Mountains are beautiful. Weather's great. A few clouds today. May get a little shower this afternoon. We'll see. Just cruising along here in fifth gear, and the Indian's just purring like a kitten. This road's got some nice twisties. We're getting ready to go around a hairpin curve that says 20 miles an hour. I was telling guys yesterday, you know, when I see these signs that say 20 miles an hour, I believe them. As you can see, this is a pretty tight turn. And I'm going 30, which I think is safe. But this Indian's got a nice lean angle. I haven't scraped any floorboards at all. Okay, we're going to go downhill now for a few miles. What a beautiful view. quality of the asphalt paving on this road in this area is pretty good. But I must say that the quality of the asphalt paving on some of the roads here in New England are just not as good as we're used to in the South. That's not a criticism of the states up here, because they obviously have a lot harsher conditions to deal with than they do in the Southeast. Milder climate. And the suspension on the Indian is good, but you know, still, we went on some pretty bone-jarring bumps yesterday. There was one little incident yesterday where Happy Jack and Orvis were leading the ride, kind of riding together. This is in Vermont, and there was a big agricultural truck that was going very slow on the road. And we were behind him for a long time. Just kind of, you know, 40 miles an hour down the road, and that gets kind of old quick on a motorcycle. And there was a long straightaway, and the truck started to pull over to the right. Didn't put a signal on or anything. And John and Patrick thought he was, you know, pulling over to let him go. And they started to pull around him. Luckily, they didn't really get around him or up next to him. But he was pulling over to the right so he could turn wide left into a farm or wherever he was going. And he put his blinker on at the last minute. And, you know, John and Patrick had to put their brakes on very quickly to stop and keep from hitting the guy. I was behind them probably 200 feet. And, you know, my heart kind of sank when I saw that guy start to make the left turn. I thought, oh no. And luckily they were stopped. And Patrick is our official Hoot nanny. Guy that waves and makes gestures at people when they're going too slow. He has no patience for them. Now here's a guy, looks like he's skiing. No, he's on rollerblades. Oh, he's probably in a lot better shape than I am. I have a lot of respect for these bicyclists and guys like that do these mountain roads. I love motorcycle roads like this. You know, great scenery, long sweeping curves. You know, Stoney and I were on those last October when we rode up into North Carolina. And I just love this. You know, cruising along at 55, 60, 65 miles an hour at the most, maybe on roads like this. And just, you know, lean into the curves. And this has been a great ride so far this morning. No traffic, nobody tailing us behind us, nobody in front of us. Only 3 motorcycles, just perfect. And I'm paralleling a rocky river there. One thing I like about driving through New England is hitting these little quaint towns. This is Madison, New Hampshire. You just saw a shot of that old steam locomotive parked on the siding in town, the rail siding. I love going, I love going through the little small southern towns where I live. And these New England villages are just, they're just beautiful. Okay, we're going south on Highway 41, and that's a good road for Georgia Rambling Man to be on. I'm rolling down Highway 41. But I don't think the Allman Brothers were talking about this Highway 41. Well, as Georgia Rambling Man, Scott and Diane Hucks and Happy Jack roll down Highway 41. Not in the great state of Georgia, but in the great state of New Hampshire. And here's a trivia question for you. What do Georgia and New Hampshire have in common? Okay, here's what it is. They both have a thriving granite industry. A lot of granite mines and granite production in North Georgia. And the same for New Hampshire. We're still in New Hampshire, but we're headed to Maine. It's going to be a great day. Hope you've enjoyed these views of the Kancamagus Highway and these other rural New Hampshire highways. This is George, your Ramble Man here. Everybody have a great week and ride safe.